Alright, so I haven't done a spoken update in quite a while on the project. Usually I'm just sort of messing around with some synth music, but I figured it was better to give an update on what's been happening since last time. So I'm going to try and do one of these a month, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. So basically I think the main characters, the primary enemy you'll fight in the game is basically going to be these guys. So there's a video on how many possible combinations there are. There's about 4,200 combinations, because there's lots of different hairs, there's lots of different heads, there's 4 different shirts, and so when you add them together, or well, you multiply them, you get lots of different combinations. So these are based off the marine skeleton, and they have like selective dismemberment, so shoot off their heads, one of their arms, so that was his left arm, and the left arm is actually a grenade, so that's the spike grenades, and then yeah, they explode into pieces which you can hit around and so on. And so the AI is all set up for them, because it's just using the marine AI. That's the advantage of making a mod instead of a game. So yeah, they're reasonably fun. So the right arm isn't a grenade, otherwise you get too many grenades. So I've tried to sort of make it look broken, just to help people distinguish. I might make it look more broken, but we'll see. So yeah, that's it for the characters. I've also added most, if not all, of the weapons to the game. So this is the first weapon. So yeah, this is Avada Kedavra. If you've played Harry Potter, it's basically the super evil spell that kills people. So it one-shots them, one-shots basically everything. And you're not going to see it a lot in the game because getting one-shot is obviously going to upset people. But yeah, maybe you'll see it once right after a checkpoint or something. The next one is Flipendo from the hit game Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone for the PlayStation 1. So this is like a sort of weaker attack which you'll see very commonly in the game. It's quite a weak attack, it takes a lot of hits to kill them, it takes a lot of hits to kill you, and it's just like basically your bargain basement attack that has a 10% chance to see if we get it again. Seems a little bit less than 10%, but you definitely heard him shout Nintendo, so yeah, weird. I don't want the percentage to be too high because it gets really annoying. So those are the sounds from the Harry Potter PS1 game. If you've played it, you'll know what I'm on about. So this next one is Stupefy, which you see a lot in the 5th movie. This is just like a slightly stronger version of the already existing. This is Flipendo but stronger, basically. So you know, some enemies will have this, some will have Flipendo, and then that creates a just some variety for you, the player. Because if everybody's using the same weapon, that gets boring. The next one is Expecto Patronum, so you'll know this from the 3rd movie, I believe. So your Patronus is a Lego horse that spins around, and yeah, it goes through people, so you can get multiple people. So this is gonna come up in the spooky part of the level, which I want to make. I want to make a part where you fight Dementors. Yeah, so that explosion you saw, the arms that are grenades, they explode if you shoot them, just like a regular grenade does in Halo. And that's one of the reasons why you can't have both arms be grenades, because then you just get this massive chain explosion and all the enemies die, which isn't very fun for you, the player. This next one is Incendio, so it's a flame spell. It's quite powerful because because yeah, it's not supposed to explode. There's just some grenades there from where I died earlier. But yeah, it basically spawns the flame grenade from Halo. So it's quite strong because obviously it blinds you and then it almost kills you. So you're not going to see it very often, and might slow down the projectile speed just to, but yeah, give you a chance to get out of the way. But yeah, stronger enemies are going to have this. The next one is ridiculous. Well, I mean, if you've played Harry Potter, you know ridiculous is the spell that sort of turns the shape-shifting boggarts into clowns or whatever. In this, I call it ridiculous just because the spell itself is pretty stupid. It spawns one of the heads that yeah, you see, and every time it hits something it explodes, and yeah, it bounces around. It also tracks you, the player. I'll see if I can get some footage on screen showing that, because you can't really see it here. And this will be used in the Hagrid boss battle. Hagrid will have this, just like he has it in the in Harry Potter. He walks around with a pink umbrella. The next one is Lumos, which this will be used for the spooky section. And essentially, it's a really bright light, which bounces around. It's quite slow. You can't get the full effect of it when it's bright, but there will be a dark spooky section where you need to use this. And so that you can like dual wield it with another weapon, for example, Expecto Patronum. Is this? Okay, so it's not the right one, but you get the picture. So you'll be fighting the Dementors by lighting up the area and then killing them with the giant flying horse, which I think should be pretty entertaining for the player. The next one is Repulsio, which yeah. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh at my own jokes, but the reason I'm making this mod is because I think it's really funny. So yeah, this is a funny spell. It blows people away, and then when they hit, yeah. So some enemies will have this, and you know, I need to make it so you don't just get blown back into something and die, but that will be a risk. That will happen, because obviously if somebody shoots you backwards really fast, you're gonna die. Oh man, that never gets old. So the next one is Expelliarmus. So, or at least it would be if I picked up the right one. So yeah, this is just ignore the giant floating arm for a second. The guy you see on your left is a great example of one of the possible combinations. So obviously it's Harry Potter, but he's got a Hufflepuff shirt and he's got like blonde hair. Anyway, Expelliarmus. So yeah, it spawns an arm that shoots arms. And I seem to have a problem with it not dying. That might be a bug. It is eventually supposed to stop. It doesn't seem to be doing that. Because obviously if you have a projectile that never ends, essentially the game starts to lag after a while if you have too many of these. So yes, I will sort that out, but in essence it is an arm that shoots arms. You know, because do you get it? Expelliarmus? Anyway. This is Bombarder, so it spawns some, you know, explosive grenades which aren't as powerful as your regular grenade, but you know they look cool, I guess, because there's a lot of them. The next one is oh man, I'm really gonna have to do something about this. All right, bear with me. I'm gonna reset the scenario. Get that in the edit. Diagonally. Yes, perfect. So this is number 12. It is Diagonally, which is from the second Harry Potter film. Diagonally. And it shoots you across the room. So this will be useful for some of the platforming sections I want to add. Don't worry, they won't be too heavy. It won't be like Crash Bandicoot. But yeah, there will be some mild platforming sections. Alternatively, Yeah, so this is diagonally. It's one of the spells that shoots you forwards, and yeah, it's completely safe. There's really no problem with it, and it allows you to sort of plow into your enemies and punch them to death, or just kill them with sheer concussive force. So it's pretty funny, and yeah, it's I just edit that part out. The next one is Accio, so or Accio, or however you want to say it. So this one brings things towards you, sort of the opposite of diagonally. So I want to put a section in where there's people across a great chasm, and you like that they're trying to bring you towards them, or you're trying to bring them towards you, or maybe you have to fly over there and punch them to death. And yeah, I think it'll be pretty funny. But it's not the sort of thing I want to sort of harass the player with. Lots of annoying platforming sections. This next one is Defendo, which the purists among you will be saying that's not real. Well, look, I mean, none of this is real. It's a video game, and yeah, this shoots defensive shields. So you're not going to see this very often, but basically some of the enemies will have this, like maybe one out of a group, and it's just meant to sort of break up the combat area a little bit, or give you some opportunities. Maybe there'll be a big open room where you've got this if you want to get some cover. There's lots of things you can do with this sort of thing. The last one is Curriculum, which is by far and away my favourite, and basically this creates a flare, like a flare, so people can see you. So yeah, this is a really useful spell. Once again, this is a pretty high level spell, so you're not going to see this very often, because, well, somebody shoots you with this, you're going to die in one hit, and then you die sort of in slow motion, you see yourself dying, and that's the sort of thing that upsets the player, so they spend 5 seconds paying for their mistakes, but maybe once or twice. I mean, it is pretty funny. Anyway, so the base characters are done, the mentor I spoke about earlier and the Hagrid boss battle, they're not done, but the base battle characters are done. The ones are all done. I can't really think of any other ones to add. I'm sure you've got some suggestions, but a lot of it just feels derivative, so I could do another one which does slightly more damage than one thing, but slightly less than the other. Anyway, so this is... Basically, I've started trying to build the level, so it's going to take place on the Hogwarts Express, and obviously it doesn't look like much right now, but for me this is a pretty big step, just making something that looks like anything. So you can sort of see how this might be a train interior. I mean, it's a bit wider than a train would be, but it's a magic train, right? And these are glass, double glazing, to save the environment. There's not really much else to say. If you jump through it, which you can do, you'll die because you'll be flying out of a train moving at high speed. But play stupid games, win stupid prizes. So yeah, thanks for joining me. I mean, the next thing is to make the level and populate it with these characters and these ones. So that's what I'm working on now, and I'll try and do an update a month. I think that's a good milestone. Yeah, thanks for your time.